Hello, my friend. I am so excited to dive into this week's episode for you on this month's astrology. This is juicy. This is going to be a very impactful month for you. Now, we're still in eclipse season, so we're still feeling that intense energy. It won't be for long, yet this is going to change the game for you for this year. So, in this week's episode, I'll be diving deep into the astrology of this month. I will then be going through the transits of this week right before October begins. I'll also be sharing my personal experience on attracting more aligned, fulfilling, uplifting friendships and how to spot a frenemy. I think this is such an important topic. I think we're all craving those deep, fulfilling relationships. And finally, I will end off this podcast episode with a tarot reading of what energy to embrace, what energy to let go of. So let's just dive right into it. So, the beginning of October, we're still in eclipse season, and we have a solar eclipse in Libra happening on October 2nd. Now, this is important. This is a brand new beginning for you when it comes to your relationships, your values, how you relate to other people. A lot of the themes of this solar eclipse are helping you see what brand new beginning has to start for you to attract the kind of relationships you want in your life. So, this is really interesting. This is a bit of an intense new beginning, though. Solar eclipses are supercharged new moons, and this is really important to consider with the solar eclipse in Libra. And this is really important to consider with the solar eclipse in Libra. I'll be diving deep into the solar eclipse in Libra chart for you next week, so stay tuned for that. That's going to give you all the juicy information as to what to expect with this solar eclipse and how it's going to affect you. Now, on October 9th, we have Jupiter in Gemini turning retrograde. So, this is really interesting. With Jupiter turning retrograde, how we receive abundance, luck, opportunities, wisdom is going to shift more so in this receiving mode. We'll be looking at luck in a different perspective. This is going to be more of an internal collective shift for us in terms of how can we see that you're already lucky? How have you been limiting yourself? Jupiter retrograde is a really great time to just rethink how you relate to your sense of spirituality, how you relate to education, learning, but also how do you teach, right? So this will be a more reflective time for us, but also one of what can you do that really shifts your perspective on what you currently have in terms of gratitude, but also how are you already lucky? What is the story you're telling yourself around this? Then on October 12th, we have Pluto turning direct in the sign of Capricorn. So this has been a very pivotal transit of 2024. Pluto has been retrograde since May 2nd, 2024, and this will be the last time Pluto is in Capricorn. So Pluto will move into Aquarius on November 19th, 2024, and it will stay in the sign of Aquarius for 20 years until March 8th, 2043. Pluto in Capricorn has been really helping us understand and unearth and uncover what we need to burn down when it comes to capitalism. What systems and structures in our society do we need to change? How can we transform our idea of what success looks like? How can we really deconstruct how our governments are built? How can we deconstruct what authority looks like to us? We've seen this politically, we've seen this through businesses, we've seen this through boycotts of major companies this year for those who are against a free Palestine, for those who are against a free world. We're really going to see how this advances with Pluto moving into Aquarius on November 19th. Because with Pluto in Aquarius, we're going to really transform our sense of community, our sense of technology. We're already seeing this with AI advancement and how rapidly it's going to grow. Technology is going to exponentially grow in the next few years, and our world is going to change so dramatically. We're going to see so many more revolutions, with this energy because the last time Pluto was in Aquarius for an extended period of time was during the Industrial Revolution. So a lot of revolutions were taking place at that time. So a lot is going to change. So be prepared and buckle up for the revolution. Now, on October 13th, Mercury enters Scorpio. And I will say, Mercury in Scorpio is very secretive. This is going to kind of tone down our communication. We will more so try to communicate with subtle cues to people. We will not really disclose as much information. However, this energy is very investigative. This energy really loves to research and dig deep and really communicate about intense taboo topics. So this is going to be an interesting shift for us collectively. Now, I do want to give you a heads up on the most intense energy of this month, and that's going to be on October 14th. So on October 14th, we have the Sun opposing Chiron in Aries, and we also have the Sun square to Mars in Cancer. This looks a little bit triggering, and I'm letting you know this so that you can mentally prepare and take care of yourself and know that you're going to need some extra self-care on October 14th. This looks like we are getting hurt by a certain relationship in our life, yet it is bringing up old wounds from the past around our sense of worthiness. And ultimately, in the end, this is going to be helpful for you because once you start to see which of these old wounds are coming back, that's what you can focus on to heal, right? What do we still need to heal through? This is going to be more visible at this time, and it will be helpful, but it might not feel that way at that time. So schedule in extra self-care mid-month. That's going to be super helpful. Then on October 17th, we have a full moon in Aries. This is the closing of a chapter in one area of your life, and I'll dive deep into this full moon in Aries chart for you later this month. On the same day, we have Venus entering Sagittarius. This is a fun energy. I personally love this energy. Venus is the planet of values. It's how we show love and affection. And with this transit, we're going to feel this need for more adventure, more spontaneity, more passion in our relationships, but also in what we value. So I'll dive deeper into that later this month. Then on October 22nd, Scorpio season begins, and this is going to really shift the energy of the collective from a more relationship-oriented, collaborative energy that's more light and flirty with Libra season to a more deep and emotional place with Scorpio season beginning. Scorpio season really helps us transform in terms of seeing ourselves in a new light, in terms of understanding what we're hiding from ourselves, what we're hiding from others, and ultimately this is going to help us uncover what we're healing through from our ancestors. How can we skip the small talk with people and just dig a bit deeper into those conversations and really get to know someone to their core? What is someone not sharing, and how can we be there for someone to help them uncover that part of themselves? So Scorpio season really brings in this need for an emotional reset for all of us. Scorpio season can be a bit intense because of this. This is great to note, but I do think we're going to still have a lot of fun in Scorpio season, just in a different way. So those are the major transits of October. I'll be diving deeper every single week for you in terms of the astrology of the week so that you can better be prepared, so that you can take advantage of the astrology of the week if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, or you just want to know the better times to date or the better times to take care of yourself throughout the week. Now, let's get into the transits of this week. Starting off on September 23rd, Venus enters Scorpio. Now, Venus, again, is the planet of values. It's how we show love and affection. And in the sign of Scorpio, we are valuing transformation. We are valuing depth. We're valuing talking about more intense topics. So in relationships, this could look like maybe taking your date out to a dive bar and just having a really philosophical but deep conversation about death, about rebirth. This is what this looks like. Now, Venus is uncomfortable in the sign of Scorpio, and this just means that it might be harder for someone to show you love and affection. How they show love and affection might differ and change. Venus in Scorpio is a bit more secretive with their love, but it's very intense. I will say this energy, in terms of the dark side, can look like jealousy, can look like manipulation in relationships, yet that's only the intense side. This won't be for everyone, yet the beautiful benefits of Venus in Scorpio is really caring for someone by seeing them. This is an energy of just wanting to be near someone if they're going through a difficult time. This is an energy of just loving to share secrets with people and the intimacy of this. So, this is really going to shift how we show love and affection in our dating life. And in terms of money, this could be being a little bit more secretive with our money, or just really valuing paying for things that will give us that transformation. May that be a course, may that be a mentor, may that be investing in more taboo topics like astrology, tarot, Halloween items. That is what this energy can look like. Then on September 24th, we have Mercury in Virgo trine Uranus in Taurus. This is exciting. This is a really lovely surprise when it comes to communication. You could get a breakthrough around a money matter that has been on your mind. This could look like getting more organized and getting an idea or inspiration on planning something. This could look like getting an epiphany around your health and understanding how to take care of your body in a better way. Maybe that is the food you eat, or creating a recipe that really nourishes you, that you find delicious. Yet it's more so prepping for this energy, perhaps meal prepping, or just understanding an idea of this in a different way. You could also just receive a surprise message or invite from someone on this day. So that is super interesting and kind of fun. Now on the 25th, Mercury in Virgo is opposing Neptune in Pisces. This can feel a little bit uncomfortable. This is a bit confusing. Neptune energy really hides a lot of information, so it's going to be harder for you to do any communication work if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a business owner. Just take note of this, that it will be difficult for you to get a lot done on the 25th. This energy can feel draining and tiring. If you are at work, just know that you might need some extra time to rest. If you're on Zoom calls, if you're able to move any meetings to not happen on this day, because I kind of see this energy as Zoom call fatigue. So that's not really fun. Take note of this. However, the way to use this energy to your advantage is to meditate, to journal, to do visualizations, to dream, to state affirmations, because that's going to feel really powerful right now. That is going to feel really nourishing for you to do, is to connect to your spiritual practice. Then on the 26th, Mercury enters Libra, so our thinking and communication will be more collaborative. It will be centered around connecting with others, but also trying to understand what is more fair, what is more just. How can you support someone in a different way? What does this look like? This energy is also kind of flirty, so I do want to mention that. I personally see Libra season as cuffing season. So for those who don't know, cuffing season is a time when a lot of single people kind of scatter and try to get into relationships before the winter gets really, really cold. I know this only happens in colder climates. For me, living in Toronto, I think this has been super interesting to witness every year on dating apps, because you can kind of see a flood of people on dating apps. So I do think on the 26th, when Mercury enters Libra, there's going to be a new flood of people entering dating apps. I'm going to call that out right now. Now, on the same day, Mercury trines Pluto. So this is a bit of an intense energy, yet it is a very supportive energy. So perhaps your thinking and communication changes through understanding how to navigate a conversation in a different way. This energy is supportive. I also see this as sharing secrets with someone or just being able to uncover a deeper layer of something you've been working on. If you've been working on a communication project, this is very helpful. If you've been planning something out, you could just feel like you're in a really good place to get more done and to be more focused. There is this intense focus with Pluto energy. So that is very helpful. Then on September 29th, Mercury opposes the North Node in Aries, and also the Sun opposes the North Node in Aries. This kind of looks like there is a reassessment around a certain relationship, yet also a conversation around how to balance out a relationship so that you can keep your independence, yet also work with that relationship. So Mercury and the Sun in Libra will be conjunct the South Node, and they will be conjunct each other on the 30th with a Mercury Cazimi. This looks like a really karmic relationship. I do want to point that out because Mercury and the Sun will be conjunct the South Node in Libra. This is us learning how to let go of people pleasing and codependency. I talk a lot more about this in my Finding Your Fulfillment course because the nodes of fate really help us understand which relationships are aligned for us and which aren't. Yet the 30th is a day to pay attention to because you're going to understand a relationship in a new light, and you might have to let go of a relationship with this opposition to the North Node in Aries. Old wounds and triggers around our sense of worthiness can come up with this energy, so keep this in mind. And to end off the week, we also have Mars in Cancer trine Saturn in Pisces. So this is very supportive of the work we're doing. This is more emotional support. I see this as the healing work you've been doing, the healing work of processing your emotions before reacting is going to be super, super helpful right now. I really see this with this energy. I think this looks like knowing which boundaries to set for yourself, knowing how to process difficult emotions and feelings, or maybe just getting more support in this area. So, really great to note for this week. If you have a business, I would really use September 30th to your advantage to really get more work done or to really get the spiritual work done for your business. In terms of understanding how you're helping someone emotionally through the work you're doing. Now, those are the transits of the week. Now, before I get into your tarot reading for this month, I wanted to talk more about friendships and more specifically, frenemies, because the astrology of the month really highlights this. So I do want to prepare you in terms of this, yet I want to share my own personal story of understanding this for myself, of which kind of friends did I want to surround myself with and what I had to learn to start choosing the right friendships. Now, this happened a few years ago, but I used to have a best friend, and looking back now, I could see how unhealthy that friendship was. Yet at that time, I didn't know this. That person was really in my life constantly. I saw them quite a few times a week. We were very close, and there are a few things I really missed in that friendship where I started to feel as though this person doesn't really support me. I had a really difficult friendship breakup with that person, and this is something we don't talk about in society, our friendship breakups and how hard they can be. And to be honest, that was more difficult for me than my first relationship breakup because my first relationship breakup was more so me mourning the relationship for a few years before ending the relationship, even though I loved that person. Yet with this friendship breakup, I didn't see it coming. It was very dramatic, it was very harsh, and very unexpected. Yet looking back now, I started to see that that person wasn't supportive of my dreams. I remember telling this person that I wanted to self publish a poetry book, and their response was very dismissive. Their response was very negative. They didn't think I should do it. And that was really hard for me to hear. I thought that they would be more supportive, yet they were really trying to defer me from publishing my book. And I will say, I did publish my poetry book, Revisions of the Moon, which is on Amazon. And that was a whole different process and a whole different journey. Yet that was just one instance, but I just remember thinking in that friendship that whenever something good happened to me, that person didn't seem happy for me. And this is a really telling sign. If your friends aren't happy for your growth, if your friends aren't celebrating you, that's a frenemy. And sometimes people don't know this. Even if that friend is jealous of you, which jealousy is a natural human emotion, I don't think we should be ashamed of feeling jealous. I think jealousy can show us what we want and actually can help us in terms of understanding our desires. Yet we have to kind of not shut down the emotions that come up for us. Yet it's important for us to understand that even if someone's jealous of a situation, they can still be supportive, they can still be encouraging, they can still be celebratory. Yet if that person's not making effort to put themselves in that state, then that's not fair to you as a friend, right? Because ultimately, your friends should celebrate you. Your friends should support your growth. Your friends should uplift you and energize you. And looking back at that friendship now, I love that person. I still send them the best and I do wish the best for them. They are no longer in my life, and that was a hard journey and a hard lesson for me to learn. Yet it taught me so much as to what kind of friendships I deserve. And I look back at that now and I could see that that friendship really was me being stuck in my south node energy, because your south node can keep you trapped in your comfort zone. And to be honest, I was in a codependent relationship with that friendship. You can be in a codependent relationship with friends. I was constantly showing up in that friendship. I was constantly celebrating that person. I was constantly trying to be the best friend I could be to that person. Yet it felt draining. That friend felt so negative. And I could also see that I was doing it out of people pleasing. I also had to take responsibility for being in that situation, right? Because it takes two to tango. And understanding that I was trapped in my South Node energy with my South Node in Cancer because I was just so emotionally involved in that relationship. I just took on her emotions. I just really tried to help in any way I could. And sometimes her problems really felt like my problems. And yes, I think it's so important to care about your friend, to love your friend, to be there for your friend. But when you start to carry someone else's pain and hurt with you, that's going to feel so painful. That's going to feel so draining. You have to let someone learn their lessons. You have to let someone process their emotions, and you can help them by being there and showing up for them. But you need to set a boundary, you need to set a line. And that is what looking at my North Node in Capricorn taught me. Once I started to tap into my North Node in Capricorn, no joke, I started to attract a lot more uplifting, growth oriented friends that support my dreams, that support my goals. I am so mind blown by how many supportive friendships I have in my life right now because I feel so loved, I feel so valued, and it took me some time to really understand which relationships trap me in my South Node energy and how I can tap into my North Node in Capricorn energy to be there for my friends in a way that empowers them, in a way that supports their growth, but also to receive that energy as well from them. And just looking at a recent event in my life now, I recently celebrated a 50K party with some really supportive friends. Two of my other creator friends in Toronto reached 50K on TikTok in terms of our communities, and we all kind of reached the 50K mark around the same time. So we decided to throw a celebratory party for this and invite more friends. And let me tell you that this was such a life-changing event because, first off, you have friends supporting your growth. They're excited for you. They're actually happy for you because what we did, we really tried to choose people in our life that were the most supportive of our businesses, that were the most supportive of our content. And when you're that selective and that intentional about a guest list for a party, the energy of the party feels so uplifting. It felt like I was high, even though I did not smoke, I promise. So it was a really blissful state, and it showed me how grateful I am to attract such amazing relationships in my life. And I really contribute that to tapping into my North Node in Capricorn energy. I really contribute that to being super intentional with the people I choose to surround myself with in my inner circle. And I teach more about this in my Finding Your Fulfillment course, Embracing the Nodes of Fate, to understand your relationship patterns of which generational cycles are you breaking, which relationship patterns do you have to let go of so that you can find more uplifting and fulfilling friendships. I do have a live Q&A happening for this course. If you do purchase the course, I'll be pulling up your birth chart to see what you can do with your North and South Node and which relationship patterns do you have to let go of with your South Node energy and the house it's in and the sign it's in and the aspects to your South Node, and what you can do to embrace your North Node energy based on the sign, based on the house, and the aspects to your North Node. So this is a really in-depth course. You can check out how mind-blowing the testimonials are. Honestly, I felt so excited for the students because just hearing that one of the students got so much courage for her life after taking that course. Another student bettered her relationship to her family members, to her fiance, and it really helped her understand what she can do to just feel more supported in those relationships. I also had another student who said that she wished she had this course 10 years ago because it would have saved her so much grief in her friendships. So if this sounds like something you want in terms of finding more fulfillment and flow and alignment in your relationships and career, you can check that out. I'll leave a link to that down below. I'm so excited for the live Q&A. It's going to be so much fun. And I also want to give you a heads up that I only have 10 spots left for the rest of the year for birth chart readings. So if you want to dive deep into your birth chart with me to understand your relationship patterns, career patterns, life path, blind spots, strengths, challenges, and just deeply understand who you are as a person so you can develop a better relationship with yourself, to show yourself more love and compassion, you can save your spot. I'm so excited to give readings. It's always so much fun for me to dive into your birth chart. Now let's get into your tarot reading for this month. So the first card out is the Eight of Wands reverse. So this is a card of letting go of busyness. You could have felt this eclipse season has been so hectic. Things have moved so quickly. I think a lot of you might have felt like you needed to move or relocate or take a trip or travel. And this card is more so just letting go of an overactive brain, of being overly stimulated. This also looks like maybe perhaps letting go of communication with someone overseas or trying to take some distance away from someone. Yet I also see this as a lot of creative inspiration that you might internally get. So maybe you're getting a lot of ideas, yet you don't know how to take action on them yet. Definitely write those ideas down. Yet I do see this energy as being a little bit scattered and trying to let go of this, trying to remain more present, trying to get grounded again because maybe you felt very disoriented with this eclipse season, which is very understandable. That's very normal for a chaotic eclipse season because let me tell you, this eclipse season was chaotic. So this makes so much sense. The next card out is the Magician card. So you're trying to manifest and call in new energy. You're trying to set intentions and really see how your internal world reflects your external world. You're trying to bridge that gap as to how can you feel more safe, more abundant, more loved right now so you can see that in your external world. I think you're going to have a lot more conversations around manifestation. I think you're going to have more conversations around your dreams. So this is super, super interesting. I love this energy so much. This is a reminder to you that you are the creator of your life. You get to decide what you want to call in, right? And even if it doesn't come in right away, that's not the point. The point is choosing. The point is giving yourself that power and giving yourself the courage to set those intentions to really call in that energy. I don't really recommend manifesting a lot during eclipse season, yet I do think that we're always constantly manifesting. We're always constantly calling in energy. So the more you're intentional about it, the better it's going to be. The next card out is the Queen of Pentacles, and this card is asking you to really ground yourself. This is a celebratory card. This card is really telling you that you've come a really long way. Really recognize your worth because you are innately worthy. This card is one of stability, one of reliability, of being nurturing and understanding, but in a very grounding way. So I do think we're going to think about money a lot this month of what would make you feel more stable and grounded, but also having more conversations around who in our life makes us feel this way, who in our life is a really grounding force for us, and how can we have more of that energy in our life. May that be through making new friends, may that be finding more stability within our sense of selves. I see a lot of conversations around this. Our advice card this month is the 10 of Swords reverse. So this is a purging card. If you feel blocked in any way, this card is letting you know that you letting go of overthinking, you letting go of past hurt and pain, of being too stuck in the past, is the best way to move forward. You've already been doing a lot of this. This is just a good reminder. Yet this is a card of releasing past resentment, releasing past negativity, releasing this overthinking and over worrying and all this anxiety. You're so close to that new beginning. You're so, so close to it. So I love this reminder. This is so important. Now, our oracle card is Seek Inspiration in Unusual Places. This is beautiful. This is just really taking inspiration from what's around you, but looking for it. Paying attention to your surroundings, paying attention to what different path can you take on your way to work? What different path can you take in your life? Or is there a side quest you can do? I think that's something you can really explore this month. We also got Be Gentle with Yourself. So maybe you've been really hard on yourself, and this card is a good reminder that it's important for you to speak to yourself in a kind way. It's important to show yourself love and grace and compassion. You're human, so remind yourself of this. Really thank yourself for getting you through such difficult times, and really treat yourself like you would a best friend, because you are your best friend first. You are the most important person to yourself. If you don't feel that way right now, this is a card of getting you back into that place. Our last oracle card is It's All for a Reason. So If things have felt chaotic, if things have felt messy, if things have felt overwhelming, this is to show you what is aligned in your life. This is what eclipse season shows us, right? And know that everything is always working to your benefit, even if it doesn't feel that way. Know that things are happening for a reason. And that can be hard, right? Sometimes it's not even for us, sometimes it's for the collective healing, it's for the collective energy. But just know it's all for a reason. We always learn from our lessons, we always learn from every hard challenge that comes our way, we always grow from any difficult state. But just reminding yourself that this is going to help you so much. Whatever you're dealing with, just know that you're not alone. I'm really hearing that message, but just know that you're not alone. You are so easy to love. And I hope this helped, friend. I hope this gave you some excitement and inspiration for October. If you'd like a private session with me, I'll see you in October or December, because I only have readings for October and December. If you want to dive deep into your nodes of fate to really get aligned in your life and really learn some advanced astrology, because I do go through some advanced techniques in the Finding Your Fulfillment course to really track major events in your life, such as breakups, getting into a relationship, career changes, moving, major trips, eclipses, nodal oppositions, and nodal returns really show us this. So I go through all of that in a really easy and accessible way in the Finding Your Fulfillment course. So if you feel called to learn more astrology, I'll see you there. And just remember, the universe has your back. And with peace and love, take care. Happy October.